Hey everybody, welcome back! So this shouldn't really go without saying, but racism is still very much a thing. And I know that I was talking about Matt Damon in my previous video, but I wanted to take a look at white feminism because there has been a lot of it happening lately, very publicly, which is something that I rarely see. Because I think, you know, a lot more women are just being more open about being feminists, which is wonderful, but at the same time, a lot of these women are white and don't realize the privilege that they have being white. Let's go through 3 pretty big events that happened very recently that I'm hoping that you all know. So we have Exhibit 1, Nikki versus Taylor. Nikki points out systematic racism in entertainment with handing out awards. Taylor takes offense, thinks that Nikki is talking about her, says that she can always come up to the stage with her, which is fucking condescending and missing the entire point of what she's saying. But Taylor apologizes, doesn't really acknowledge what she did wrong, but she says that she was wrong, which I do appreciate. Exhibit B, Nikki versus Miley. Miley then goes on Nikki about the same thing on Twitter. Nikki responds to Miley at the VMA saying, "What's good?" which is an amazing line. And Miley responds to her by saying that she wasn't pissed off about getting a VMA, even though once again Nikki was complaining about racism in entertainment, something much bigger than winning a VMA. Exhibit C, Nancy Lee Graham versus Viola Davis. Viola Davis makes a simple but very powerful speech on people of color in entertainment and how the only thing that separates the two is not talent, but opportunity. Nancy Lee Graham wishes that she made it about all women, kind of like how people want to replace the hashtag Black Lives Matter with All Lives Matter. It's very counterproductive to go, wait a minute, but why don't I have my own hashtag? Because my life matters too. Well, yeah, we're not saying that your life doesn't matter, but are you black? Like, do you have police trying to kill or arrest you for no goddamn reason besides the fact that you're black and it makes them uncomfortable? Probably not, if you think that All Lives Matter should replace Black Lives Matter. I don't know if Nancy Lee realizes, but women have won Emmys since the beginning of the Emmys. Or at least around the beginning of the Emmys. I'm pretty sure Lucille Ball was one of the first people to win one of the first Emmys, so her argument was a little bit ignorant. She did apologize, again. Miley did not apologize. So what do all of these examples have in common? All of these are in some way, shape, or form kind of taking the voice away from people that are less privileged and just saying that, like, hey, like, everybody matters. Why are you just talking about this one group? In a way, asking the black lady to be nicer about how she complains about how hard she has it, which is such a problematic thing that I don't think a lot of people realize. It's an extremely slippery slope to make that type of argument because change never happens from being nice and polite and doing things on the terms of people in power. I think there's an issue with these white feminist women thinking that they cannot be oppressive because they've been oppressed as women before, but they don't realize that being a woman and being a woman of color, that's 2 layers, and they technically only suffer 1 layer of oppression. And when someone like Nikki or Viola points out white privilege, they get very uncomfortable because they don't want to think that they're part of an oppressive system, even though to some degree they very much are. And I'm not rejecting the way that they feel oppressed as women, because women in general do face a lot of oppression. I think Taylor, Nikki, and Nancy need to realize that a way to become an even better feminist is to understand the intersectionality between gender and race. It's kind of like how, even though I am a person of color being Asian, I try my best to remind myself that I am one of the most privileged minorities in America. And as I said in the last video, sometimes the best thing to do is shutting the fuck up. Not shutting the fuck up because you're a woman, because that's awful and that's an awful thing to say, but like, you don't have the same experiences as someone like Viola or Nikki. Like, you shouldn't be telling them how to be feminist, or you shouldn't be telling them how to complain about oppression, because they face twice as much oppression as you do. In all of these cases, even though I understand that they were not intending to do this, them responding to Nikki or Viola the way that they did, it invalidates the struggles that they legitimately had. And they didn't even bother to try to understand where they were coming from. They were just telling them, hey, like, hey, you need to be nicer about this. Why are you just talking about women of color? Why don't we talk about all women? Because all women have it hard. It's kind of like how men treat women when, in terms of victim blaming, you know? Like, they don't just shut up and listen to them. They just have so much doubt in terms of the validity of their argument. even though they don't understand their situation. And yeah, I'm sure that a lot of people watching this probably don't give a shit about traditional entertainment. I'm not saying that I do either. But media comes from and affects all aspects of our life. I completely acknowledge, understand, and appreciate that we're all facing some kind of oppression probably. Unless you're a white, straight, traditionally masculine male. But if you're not fighting the same battle with them, then don't tell them how to fight their battles. My videos are getting a lot more social justice-y, huh? It just happens to be the thing that I'm passionate about right now, I guess. So I hope that you enjoy this, because if you didn't know, race and gender are some of my favorite topics to talk about. It's not just video games. Let me know what you think about all the things I said, because I'm curious to know what other people think. It'd be nice if you could get angry with me. I think that's always fun. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!